Hi and welcome to Run Tall with Tim. Today's video is Season 2, Episode 4 of a half marathon training program using Garmin Coach. We're going to be reviewing the workouts that were completed for Week 3 of a 15-week half marathon training program. If you're new to the channel, I post running videos on both Wednesday and Saturday mornings, and that's at 5 a.m. Standard Eastern Time here in the US. But I also like to post bonus videos once in a while, but I'm never sure what day of the week that's going to be or even what time of day that they're going to be posted. So if you enjoy things like running shoe reviews and other videos related to running, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time that I upload new content. Also, if you want to try to save yourself a little time in this video, I've created some chapters. If you open the description, there you're going to find some links. All you have to do is click on the timestamp for the part of the video that you want to watch, and it's going to take you right there. Having said all that, let's get into Week 3 of our half marathon training program using Garmin Coach. Hey everybody, so it is Sunday, March 28th. We had an easy run scheduled for today. So I started with a 5-minute jog, and then I ran for 20 minutes. Tried to keep it between a 9:14, 10:14 minute mile. Then I had the option to go an additional 15 minutes at that same pace. I did do that. My ankle felt a little better today, so we'll see how that goes. And then I finished with a 5-minute jog to cool down. So let's crunch the numbers and see just exactly how I did do. Okay, in order to break down the numbers, I'm going to use the Garmin app. So I'm going to call up on screen now kind of that overview information that you get. And here you can see I ran for 48 minutes and 3 seconds. The total distance was 5.3 miles. And you can see a visual representation there at the bottom of the screen where I had completed my workout. Now for this one, I just ran around my town. It had been raining quite a bit, the last few days. And I knew that the state park, that those trails were going to be way too muddy for anything that I wanted to run on. So I just kept it close to home, which meant that I was running primarily on pavement and sidewalks to get the run in. And I also was running in the Hoka Mach 4s for this workout. They're really comfortable. I'm really impressed with those shoes. So let's move over now, and as I scroll over, you can see that my average pace was a 9:04 minute mile. It was called for 9:14 to 10:14, so 9:04, I'll take that. It's pretty close. I had a 6.6 miles an hour was my average speed, and my average heart rate, 150 beats per minute. So let's look at the different laps, and you can see lap 1 is when I was warming up. So I was warming up at a pretty easy pace of 10:17 minute mile, and then I kind of settled in. I was running an 8:59 minute mile for lap 2, and then 8:54, 9:07, 9:03, 8:38, and then I finished out with a 9:09 minute mile for my cool down period. So that's the breakdown of the easy run for Sunday, the 28th. Now let's take a look and see how I did on Tuesday. Hey everybody, so it's Tuesday. Today is a goal pace run that I just completed. It started with 15 minutes to jog to warm up, and then I ran for 15 minutes at our goal pace, which is between 8:04 and 8:24 minute mile, with an option to run an additional 5 minutes at that same pace. And then I cooled down for 15 minutes. I did run the extra 5 minutes. My ankle's a little tender, but it felt pretty decent today. So I went ahead and just kind of went for it. I'm anxious to see exactly how I did. I struggled a little bit with just trying to get into my pace. I think that's one of the hardest parts when you're kind of returning to running, because I had taken some time off, or at least really reduced the amount of miles I was putting on each week because of an injury that I'm still dealing with back in February. But it just seemed like it was tough for me to, settle in at the pace I was looking for. So I couldn't really wait. I was just anxious to see how I did do on that workout. So I went 50 minutes. It was a 50-minute workout. I went 5.74 miles in total. But what I was happy with is my pace ranges. So I was really working hard trying to honor the workouts that Garmin had set for me. I haven't always been terrific at that, and part of the reason that I've chosen to use this half marathon training program as I am somewhat returning to running because I had to really reduce my volume and I wanted to do it slowly. And if I followed the Garmin workout plan, I know that they're going to bring me back slowly because I've run this program several times in the past and they're really good about increasing your mileage a little at a time to try to keep you safe and healthy. So I'm trying to do better at really honoring the workout. So my average pace was an 8:43 minute mile. My average speed was 6.9 miles per hour. Again, my total run time was 50 minutes. My average heart rate, 158 beats per minute. You know, that's not terrible. My average cadence was 188 steps per minute. And not much in terms of elevation, gain or loss. But what I was really excited about when I saw this was my lap times. Of course, lap 1 and 2 was my warm-up for that 15 minutes. And lap 2 was a little bit different because, you know, lap 1 was a 9:30 minute mile. And that's what I was kind of shooting for to warm up. Lap 2 was 10:53. And that's because I had to stop twice. Once I dropped my keys. I have a hard time running with the keys in my pocket because they kind of flop around. So I keep them in my left hand when I run and I toss them down. So I had to stop and go back, find my keys. But then the other one is I had darn GoPro trouble again. So this time, you know, I'm using my GoPro Hero 8, and I don't know if you'll be able to see that very well, but apparently all the screws came out of the holder, and so the little deal that holds it onto my selfie stick, that is still there, but apparently all the screws are missing. So the damn thing just fell right off. So I'm gonna have to go back and search Amazon or go to GoPro or call them or something, see if I can get some replacement screws so I can put it back on. I do have a separate housing unit that I bought for it to kind of protect it because I kind of beat the snot out of that GoPro. So for now, I'll just have to go back and put that on. So right now it's resting on my dashboard. So anyway, that's the 10:53, kind of a longer story than I intended. Lap 3 was a 7:48 minute mile, so a little faster. Again, I was having a little bit of trouble finding my pace, but then lap 4 was 8:11, right in the mix. Lap 5 was 8:09, and then lap 6 was my cool down period, which was an 8:44, and then lap 7 was 8:36, and then lap 8, which was 0.02 miles, was 6:17. So I got back to the car and my ankle was feeling a little better, so I decided to give the Hoka Mach 4s a little bit of a sprint to the car because it felt really good. It's been a while since I've been able to put the pedal to the metal and have it feel good. I know it's going to be, I still need to go back and ice it and that kind of stuff. It's going to be several weeks probably before I can run without having any kind of pain at all. I know that, but hey, today it felt pretty good, so I took advantage of it. Hey, there it is. That's Tuesday's Goal Pace workout results, and we'll check it out and see how the stride repeats go tomorrow on Wednesday. Hey everybody, so it is Wednesday. I'm back down at my local state park. This is Sleepy Hollow State Park to do a little bit of speed work. So I'm going to be running some stride repeats today. So today is going to be all about quick feet. So I'm going to start with a 10-minute jog to warm up, and then I'm going to run 20 seconds, trying to keep my steps per minute between 150 to 200. And then I'll have 45 seconds to recover, and then I'm going to repeat that sequence 10 different times, and then I'll finish with a 10-minute jog to cool down. It is cold today. It's 37 degrees, somewhere in that ballpark, but at least it's sunny. It's a little windy. These kinds of days, I always feel like I'm spending all of my time running against the wind, no matter which direction I'm going, because my ankle is still, it's still bothersome. So that's part of the reason I came down to the state park, is because I'm going to be doing all of these stride repeats on gravel. The gravel just seems to be a little bit softer, a little bit easier on my ankle as I run. So if you check out, the actual run itself, I'm pretty much going to be going in a straight line, because I'm going to run 10 minutes in one direction. Hopefully that'll keep me on the gravel, and then when I get to the end of the warm-up, then I'll just be running my speed repeats on a gravel straightaway that's on a main trail, and then to cool down I'll just run back to the car, which I'm parked over at a boat launch right now. So that's the plan for today. Good news is I put my new housing on my GoPro Hero 8. If you kind of follow along, I've had some GoPro trouble for whatever reason, all of the screws came out of the bottom of the holder that keeps it stuck to my, or keeps it attached to my selfie stick. So, I ended up having a, I had a cage anyway that I just hadn't used because it's kind of heavy, a little bit more cumbersome to use. So I have that on the GoPro today. So having said all that, let's get into the workout. So I'm in my 10-minute warm-up. I am running in my Hoka Mach 4s today. I've actually been running in these shoes all week. They seem pretty comfortable. They're pretty easy, underfoot, soft and cushion. Combined with the softer gravel, makes for a pretty nice run experience. So let's get on with the run. So I think that went pretty well. I'm in the 10-minute cool down phase right now. So it's nice to just kind of plod along. And it's such a sunny day. The lake looks great. I'm not sure exactly how I did, but I felt pretty good. I felt like I was getting my feet moving like I should. So I'm excited to see exactly what the numbers look like. So I was going to break these numbers down out at the state park when I was there, only the battery on my GoPro died. So I'm back in studio, I guess, which is my spare bedroom in my home. Just got back, so I thought I'd break down the numbers while it's fresh in my mind. So let's just take a look and see. I went a total of 33 minutes and 43 seconds, 3.9 miles. And then I'm going to scroll over and look at some of the averages. My average speed for the stride repeats was 6.9 miles an hour with a max speed of 10.2 miles an hour. Again, 33 minutes and 43 seconds total time. My average heart rate, 147 beats per minute. Now remember, that takes into account that warm-up as well as cool-down period, but I'll take that. And then my average run cadence was 189 steps per minute with a max run cadence of 217 steps per minute. And not much going on with my elevation gain or loss. And now what we really want to look at, though, with this workout is the my stride repeats and the cadence. So to do that, I kind of have to turn my phone sideways to get a good look at the information. I'm going to scroll all the way over to where it says average run cadence. And so here I'm starting with lap number 4. Now lap 1 and 2 was my warm-up, but I didn't hit my stride repeat arrow quick enough. And so, I don't know, I was fussing around with my watch a little bit. So I had a lap 3 in there that was 0.2 seconds or something. So really my 20-second speed repeat started with lap 4. And my average run cadence for that first one was 197. So it was right in the ballpark between that 150 to 200 I was trying to achieve. Lap 6 was 202. Lap 8, 200. And then 197, 202, 200. Lap 16, 205. Then 18 was 199, 204. And then 198 to finish out. And then the rest of the workout was my cool down period. So pretty darn close. I was trying to keep it between 150 to 200. There were a couple times when my average run cadence was, a little over 200, but not by a lot. So I think I did a pretty decent job in honoring the Garmin workout that was scheduled for today. And then if we want, we can scroll over and take a look at the averages, or take a look visually at some of the graphs and so on to see how that pace range is. As as you would expect, as we look at that graph, there's going to be some peaks there when I was actually running the stride repeats themselves. But overall, I think the workout turned out great. My ankle still, that's going to be a common theme. I might not bring it up every single workout, but what I do like to keep people updated just on kind of where it is, because it does impact my performance and how I do. So the next workout this week is going to be a long run, and that's on Friday. My only concern is just the amount of stress, again, that I'm putting on an injury that I'm trying to work through. But beyond that, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping for nice weather. It was a little colder today than I would have liked, but what are you going to do? At least the sun was shining, so that was terrific. So, hey, we'll see you on Friday. Hey everybody, so it is Friday. It's a long, easy run today. Right now I'm waiting for my Garmin to connect with the satellites. So while I'm waiting on that, I thought I might just kind of bring you up to speed on today's workout. As a long, easy run, I'm going to start with a 5-minute jog to warm up, and then I'm going to run for an hour and 15 minutes at an easy run pace. I'm going to be shooting between 9:14 to a 10:14 minute mile. I'm going to do my best to try to honor that and not go any faster or slower for that matter. And then I have an option to run an additional 20 minutes at that same pace. And then, I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to run that. It really just depends on how I'm feeling. And then a 5-minute jog to cool down to finish up the workout. I'm out at my state park again today. Again, one of my favorite places to be. But today, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be running areas that I have not run in before. And, this park is pretty big. So it'll be fun to explore some new trails. Hopefully I won't get turned around because that's happened before. I got a little worried about whether or not I was going to be able to find my way back. So I think I can always just turn around and run in reverse if I get a little bit nervous out there and not exactly sure where I am. But I'm looking forward to exploring some new trails. It's cold. It's 31 degrees today. I did go with a ball cap instead of a hat, a regular winter hat, just because, 10 minutes into the workout and I'm going to be warm, so I'm not too concerned about that. And there's not a lot of breeze today, so even though it's 31 degrees, the sun is shining, and I think it feels just a little bit warmer than it is. I'm also wearing the Hoka Mach 4s today. They're a really comfortable shoe, and I'm looking forward to giving them a try. They don't have a lot in terms of outsole for any kind of grip, but I think they'll be fine for the trails I'm going to be running today. Again, I'm going to be exploring new areas, so if it just looks a little too dicey, I just won't do it. So, hey, I'm going to get on with the workout, and then, we'll let you know how it goes. So I'm in my 5-minute jog to warm up. I'm really glad so far, anyway, that I chose to run the trails. It's just such a nice day. They're a little bit muddy, a lot of exposed roots, so I have been kind of slipping around just a little bit. But not terrible. I'm really looking forward to a nice, easy run today. I just love being in the woods. Alright, so on with the workout. So it was a pretty nice workout today, that long, easy run. I'm in the optional 20-minute piece of it. I'm going to run a little bit of that, mainly just because I've got a little ways before I get back to my car. So I figured I might as well take advantage of it. But I'm not going to go the full 20. I just don't want to push it, So, but I am anxious to see how I did. It was pretty rough going terrain, actually. The ground was kind of greasy and muddy, and a lot of hills. A lot more hills than I expected. So while I was trying to keep an easy pace, I'm sure my heart rate was way up, just because that easy pace was going uphill. And sometimes it was harder to go downhill because it was so muddy. I had to almost stop and walk down the hill. Yeah, we'll see how I did. Okay, so I just finished up with that long, easy run. I was excited to see kind of how I did. I think I did pretty well to stay within that Garmin range of 9:14 to 10:14 minute mile. But I'm calling it up on my phone. I just synced it here. So I went to 9:55, 9-minute 55 second mile. So, okay, I stayed within the range, which came out to 6 miles an hour on average. The total workout was 1 hour and 37 minutes and 41 seconds. And I'm going to scroll over here and just kind of take a look at some of the lap times. Looks like I settled in pretty well. Now, lap 2 was a 9:33 minute mile, and then 3 was 10:11, 9:56, 10:15, 10:19, and so on. Some of that was I'm running trails out here, and it was a bit of a challenge going up and down some of those hills. They were pretty muddy. So, normally you put forth the effort to get up the hill, you reap the benefits when you come down with a little bit of inertia to help you as you're running. But today, because it was so greasy with mud and that kind of thing that I nearly had to kind of stop and really gently work my way down to the bottom of the hill before I could really kind of take off and start running again. So it's kind of a lesson learned there. But overall, I was pretty happy with the workout. Got it in. My ankle feels pretty decent. I went a little bit into the optional piece. I didn't run the full 20 minutes. Basically, when I'd finished up the first, hour and 15 minutes of the run, I was still a little ways from my car, so it was the remainder of the distance to get to the car, which came out to be an additional 15 minutes or so, so not quite the 20. Overall, I was pretty happy with it. So I hope you enjoyed our recap of week 3 of our 15-week half marathon training program using Garmin Coach. Be sure to join me next week as we review week 4. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. As always, run tall, run strong, be kind to one another. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.